Hi, it's good to be back with you again. I'm John Redden, and this is the JEA CSR Refresher, where we're finishing the book 10 Powerful Steps to Defuse the Angry Customer by John Mehrmann. I hope you went out and found the article and read the entire thing and have some ideas about it of your own. Last month, we looked at item 1 through 5. Today, we're going to jump right into 6 through 10. These are very practical ideas. I think you would think of them as common sense. Really common sense for people like you, professionals who are CSRs, who do this for a living, who are always trying to solve and fix problems for people. So let's get right into it. Number 6 is own the problem. Now, this is where you take responsibility on behalf of the company, actually, and you say when somebody calls in angry, well, I'm sorry, sir, or ma'am, we are having a difficulty with that, or we're going to work this out for you, or whatever those wonderful professional things you say is. Remember, we kind of talked about in training, you're the tip of the spear. That was my phrase, and I guess it seemed like you agreed with that idea that you're the CSR, so at the point people are into the company, you're really the one that's representing everybody. You're the visual, you're the avatar, so to speak, of what's going on at the company. So when you own the problem, it diffuses their problem. They begin to realize, I'm with the person who can help me. I'm with the person that I like. They're already listening to me, and they're going to get this done for me. That's how you build trust right off the bat. You help diffuse the angry person by owning it on behalf of the company. Next point is place the customer first. Now, what that means is, you're all fix-it people. So you want to just take that thing and hear the problem and say, well, here's what we're going to do to fix it, if we can fix it. Now, what Mehrmann is saying is, if you put the person first, you're going to say, what are you feeling, sir or ma'am? How are you doing? How are you managing this? You're angry, you're anxious, you're frustrated. This is repetitious for you. You get into their emotions first. Leave the fixing for later. That may seem backwards, but that's what Mehrmann says the first thing to do is accept and bring in all their and listen to all their feelings, all that difficult stuff, that hard stuff to wade in on, and then go for the maintenance and the fixing and the administrative, and then you do that later. There's something special that happens when you take an angry person and you say, okay, I'm going to hear you. I'm going to listen to what you're feeling before anything rational is spoken, before I challenge anything. That way, they know they can trust you because you're not judging them. And then you go on into all the other work. So keep that front of mind. First the customer, which means their emotions, and then what you can do as that professional CSR. Next point is triage. Try to pull out all the problems. And as you pull out the problems, decide what's the most important, prioritize, and all that sort of thing. You guys know to do that. But as you're doing that, Mehrmann says you can gather up enough troubleshooting, problem solving to where this problem will not arise again for this customer and following customers. So you can get all that information through triaging, drawing it all out like you're a medic, and you're just trying to find out what all is happening. EMT, if you've been in the services, you know what a medic is. But you're just trying to figure out everything from head to toe that's going on, and then you can kind of develop your plan. Number 9 is correct the issue. Now, again, that's pretty practical, kind of common sense for you guys, but this is where you really go into the whole process. And you say, okay, here's the issue. This is what I hear you saying. You use those really good paraphrasing skills we've talked about. And then you can put a plan together and talk about the process. And then at the end of the whole paragraph, at the end of the whole conversation, maybe it's a long one, maybe it's a short one, you say, here's what I hear you saying again, sir or ma'am, and here's what we're going to do about it. And want you to know if you understand everything we're doing, if it makes as much sense to you, if it sounds like I'm getting everything that you're bringing up. I know that when I've got people, if I'm out in the company or if I'm in my office, I'll ask people at the end of a time together, I said, am I hearing everything? Are we on the same page? Am I hearing all the things that, are we going in the same direction? Are we on the same path? Some kind of an expression like that's yours, that you can own, to where they find out that, yeah, he's going to correct this. She's going to take care of everything. Now, that's wonderful. Again, a great trust builder. All right, number 10, follow-up. Now, I'm not personally aware of what you guys do with follow-up. Mehrmann says do something in 30 days. One reason is that the anger's probably pretty well diffused in 30 days, and they may be wondering if you're still thinking about them, if you're still aware of what's so important about this whole process. So send them a card, drop them an email, make a phone call out to them, and just touch base with them and see how they're doing. And, I was thinking about this and thinking maybe you could even do this for people that you had a hard time with, that were very difficult, that you didn't think were going to like the results, or maybe you just had to say, I'm sorry, we can't actually do all that for you. You can still follow up and see how they're doing, see if they're still customers, because remember, in some areas you have competition, and see how they feel about you. At least the efforts. I mean, I've been online with a lot of people, a lot of customer service folks, and sometimes they can't solve the problem for me. But they're professional and they care, and they take care of things for you. Now, I just wanted to thank you for listening. Thumbs up if you like it, and that will alert you to the next one that comes out. Give me some suggestions. You've been thinking about this. You've gone through about 6 of those or so of these refreshers, and you're probably thinking, I wish you'd talk about this, this, or this, or this, or I have some ideas of my own, and present them to me. I'd love to hear about them, because I've got several more of these planned, but I'd like to know what you'd like to do. One last thing I'd like to remind you is that little thing about fighting burnout. Here we are all the way up into May. It's been a half a year almost already, and a lot of work for you, because you've gone through a couple of basic seasons, ups and downs and changes in weather. So maybe it's been a stress being a CSR by now. So what you could do is, remember, write down 3 things you've accomplished today. And then go back and think, what do I need to do tomorrow? What do I really want to do? What's going to really get me going that I'm going to enjoy doing tomorrow? And I want to add one little tag to that, and how you're going to do it. What you're going to do, how you're going to do it. I hope that helps. I hope these refreshers help. Please let me know. Love to hear from you, and we'll talk to you again next month. Thank you.